What's good, homies? It's your man, Dr. BOA. You know, I'm a firm believer that a woman's verbal language is one thing, and it may or may not relay portions of her truth. But a woman's body language tells you everything you need to know about her. Whether she likes you, whether she doesn't, whether she finds you attractive, whether she doesn't, whether you turn her on, whether you don't, whether you're repulsive, whether you're not. If you pay attention to a woman's body language, you'll find out everything you need to know. And if her body language toward you on the day you marry her is not positive, only a fool wouldn't notice that. Now, this picture's been floating around for a long time, but this image is a perfect breakdown of it. Like, this image has never been portrayed in a more accurate way than what you see here. It's described in such a way that it can't be denied. And it's not even the fact that the image is what it is. It's the fact that the guy who's in the negative position doesn't even know it and doesn't even see it. You have to know how a woman views you. And not only know it, you have to accept it. And a lot of times that's the problem with guys. They don't accept the reality of how a woman views them. Boyce Watkins is the man in the negative part of this image. Willie D, OG homie from the Ghetto Boys, is in the positive position. And from his posture to the woman's obvious desire to be on his roster, you can see all of the differences between her body language with him and her body language with her husband. Let's take a deep dive on this one. But first, let's elevate to a higher plane. Prepare for takeoff. Now, here's the thing about this image. What we have to keep in mind is that there's a certain way you carry yourself as a masculine man. See, a man can talk masculinity all he wants to, but his energy has to be masculine. He has to take care of his body in a way that makes him masculine. Masculine and muscular go hand in hand. You can't be masculine if you're not muscular. That's why little boys don't have muscles. And as they get older, they develop muscles because that's a sign that you're becoming a masculine man. So you have to take care of yourself. You have to eat the right things. You have to exercise, work out, lift something heavy. And obviously, Boyce doesn't seem to think that. But we're going to take a listen to a couple of points that Boyce Watkins makes in his attempt to attack men who are more masculine than he is.
Yeah, change that last name.
I'm still in the process of doing that, Boyce.
Yeah, but changing, it was an honor to change your last name. There are a lot of guys who get threatened by that. A lot of guys who, I guess, aren't secure about that, who get upset about it. But I want to just say, shout out to all of y'all because, I think that we should cheer on Black women that are doing well. And the brothers who can't meet the standard, step your game up. Step your game up. Like you can do this, right? You don't have to feel inferior or somehow like she's threatening your power. You can have power too. Like my dad was just like a soldier in every way, but he also showed me like a soldier can have a soft side because that's part of being a soldier is knowing you can be soft and knowing that doesn't make you a punk. That you can be soft and strong at the same time. That's anybody who's like hard all the time ain't really hard at all. Like if you hard all the time, that means you're just scared of any form of vulnerability because you can't handle it. Like you'll break down emotionally, And I think that the strongest people I know are the ones who can be vulnerable and know that there's gonna be, that sometimes it's not gonna work out for you, but you're okay. You can bounce back,
I don't know. I don't like to talk. I don't want to tell people don't date a thug. It's like someone who's what is a thug? You know what I mean? It's like someone is a thug is not worthy of love. No, I mean, just if they live that life, maybe they are worthy of love.
That's true.
You know, so I don't know. I don't want to go into everybody to each its own. So I don't want to tell anybody not to do something, and I don't want to tell anybody. Look, the way I date is it fits me. It fits my personality. Like, you are the perfect fit for me. You know, a thug may not be, but it might be for another person, and that's good for them. Like, I think that whatever toots your horn, if I should say, whatever resonates with you, whatever gets you going, go for that.
And
like,
because you had thugs that hit on you. I remember back in the day.
Not many.
And you wanted.
I think thugs looked at me and was like, nah, she ain't going.
No.
They didn't even
like
try
that,
to approach me.
Remember that dope dealer that offered to pay your rent?
Oh,
back
that was in
20-something years ago.
He was feeling,
and you were smart. You were smart because you said, I don't want to be around a man that might get me killed or sent to prison.
Yeah, because all I saw, he did. He gave me a proposition. It wasn't a sexual proposition. It was just a proposition for me. But it
probably would have been eventually.
It wasn't that way, and I just said no. I'm not going to do. I don't need the money like that. Even if I did, I was like, that's illegal. So I just didn't want to be part of that, and I could see myself going to jail. Yeah, that just wasn't my thing.
Well, you know what? I think it's about like being like thoughtful and logical about who you tie yourself up with. That's what that says to me. Like, it's like, and
he attacks masculine men and then makes non-masculine points. And when we're looking at this image right here, you can see Boyce has a big smile. Like a hee hee ha ha, I'm so happy to have this woman smile. Willie D has a relaxed smile. Like, I know in this room, I'm the man. And that doesn't come from him trying to pull rank. That comes from Willie D having lived that life, having been that guy. When you're that guy your entire life, your outlook on women is different. Your outlook on the room is different because you don't separate those things. Okay, this is women, this is men, this is business, this is personal. You just become who you are and you present that to the world. I tell you men all the time, develop yourself into the most alpha version of you and then battle the world with that version. And you'll get all of the benefits that come with building yourself into that version. Also, you look at Boyce standing with an open frame. Like he's relaxed and his posture isn't correct. He's just there. And you look at Willie D, closed frame, correct posture, standing like a man who has built himself into a man. You look at Boyce's feminine stance. You know, he looks like he's about to do a twirl or something. And again, this isn't an attack on the man. This is me looking at an image, just reading to you what was defined by someone else that we all see. You look at Willie D, masculine stance. Again, chest up, head held high, hands, look at their hands. Look at the firmness of Willie D's hand. Boyce is in the picture, standing in the picture with another man with no shoes on. Why in the world does a man in a suit have his shoes off? Help me understand that. As a man in a suit, why you got your shoes off, man? Look at Willie D. He's got his shoes on. And here's the most telling thing. Boyce has his hand on his woman's shoulder. When have you ever in your life put your hand around a woman on her shoulder like that? Unless she was really, really short. And even in that case, I just sit down and let her sit on my lap. But when have you ever been with a woman that you were intimately involved with, and when you put your arm around her, it was high? Look at Willie D's hand. Small of the woman's back. Why? Because that's how you touch a woman. And the most telling thing in this entire photo image, look at the space between Boyce and his new wife that he's chased for years. Look at the space between them. And now look at how close and cozy she is with Willie D. And here's the thing I want y'all to understand. This woman isn't doing this intentionally. This is just how femininity responds to masculine energy. I've been telling you men forever, this is about masculine energy and feminine energy. We could talk about all this other thing, esoteric, we could talk about all that. When we're talking about men and women, we're talking about masculine energy and feminine energy. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. It don't take no studying to figure out that a man in his most masculine essence forces a woman to respond this way because her femininity takes over her mind. Even more than feelings, a woman's femininity controls her actions. Man, you see in this photo, who does it look like she's about to marry? Who looks like the happy couple here? Who looks like they can't wait until they can blow that joint and get to the honeymoon? It's certainly in Boyce. Looks like Willie D and Alicia are the married couple there. And Boyce looks like a third wheel. Looks like her brother. And this isn't about portraying an image of yourself. This is the difference between a man who has built himself, and not because of choice. He built himself into this man because he had to become this man in order to navigate his environment. When you don't have a hard life at any point, it's going to affect your ability to be masculine. Whether your father creates a makeshift hard life for you or not. You can live in a perfect world. You can live in a perfect financial world, and your father can create those hardships for you. Getting up, getting out to work. You don't spend your summer in the bed. You get up with him and you go out and work and do whatever he's doing. That's creating that masculine energy in you. See, the truth of the matter is this. There's two kinds of men in the world. There's the man who actually builds himself into the most alpha version of himself. There's the man who talks about it. There's the man who views himself as the prize. And there's the man who accepts himself as a prize if a woman views him as a prize. There's a man who comes in and tries to use tools and jewels to dominate the room. Hey, I'm the richest man here. Hey, I'm the most educated man here. Hey, I'm the most well-connected man here. And then there's a man who comes in and dominates the room because of the pure masculine energy that comes in with it. And he ain't even trying. Which one of those men do you believe a woman's femininity is going to rise to the surface for? Y'all comment down below and let me know what you think about this topic. I look forward to hearing what you men have to say. I'm out.
Trying to become the most alpha version of you. Trying to become the most alpha version of you. Striving to become